Fox News refuses to air January 6 violence while trashing hearing as boring and propaganda. Tucker Carlson cut away from video of the violence inside the Capitol while bragging about telling the truth. Let's see here. Fox News was the only news network not to carry the first day of the January 6 committee hearings, as its host repeatedly trashed the 2-hour hearing without providing their audience any of the content. I think the only way that can happen is if you're so addicted to Fox, and as many people who look at Fox, they say, well, I can't believe anything MSNBC or CNN would say, so I'm not even going to worry or look at them, I'm not going to bother. So the committee detailed a lengthy case against former President Donald Trump's role, using clips of the depositions from former Attorney General Bill Barr, former White House advisor Ivanka Trump, and other former officials to show Trump was well aware that his fraud claims were false, even as he continued to stoke his supporters ahead of the deadly Capitol riot. The committee also played a new video of the violence that took place inside the Capitol and questioned Capitol police officer Caroline Edwards and documentarian Nick Quested, who was embedded with the Proud Boys, about what went on. Fox News viewers were the only news watchers who didn't see the hearing Thursday night. Yeah. Now you know why people who look at Fox, like they say, according to the surveys, and more people who don't look at the news are more likely to know more what's going on in the world than people who look at Fox. Isn't that interesting? That means chances are you're going to be dumb if you look at Fox every day, because they hide facts from you. They don't tell you the truth. They're not impartial. At one point, as the committee showed damning footage of the violence in the Capitol, Fox News cut away from its side graphic showing the hearing to a panned out shot of the hearing room. Wow, imagine that. They're cutting away from the violence. Here's the video of Fox News cutting away from the January 6 hearing when actual footage of the attack was shown. Host Tucker Carlson bragged that his network was the only one not to air the hearings, which were even carried live by far-right Newsmax. This is the only hour on an American news channel that will not be carrying their propaganda live, Carlson said. They are lying and we are not going to help them do it. What we will do instead is try to tell you the truth. Wow. They sound like state TV, something you expect under Goebbels in Nazi Germany. Propaganda. Media Matters Matt Gaetz reported that Carlson did not go to commercial break once during the hearing. He did not show. Fox is desperate to keep its viewers from switching to another channel, so that's why they didn't take a commercial. And seeing the hearing in real time, Gaetz tweeted, adding that they want to push his propaganda so much that they're leaving money on the table to do it. Wow, not airing commercials. Fellow host Sean Hannity also did not air any of the hearing, describing it as the dullest, most boring. There's absolutely nothing new. multi-hour Democratic fundraiser masquerading as a January 6 hearing. After the hearing wrapped up, Hannity declared that the one person that looks good is Donald Trump. Yeah, right. Let me just stop there. See, Trump was going around saying there's massive fraud. He won in a landslide. His own daughter said that she accepted the fact that he lost. His own former uh, attorney general said there was nothing there that he lost, and he looked at the evidence himself, and he called it BS, right? Okay, but yet Trump went out and he formed, I guess, some kind of a setup where you can donate money to him to see if he can overturn this, to go to court or what have you. And he did all this knowing fully well the Attorney General told him there's nothing there. I mean, the Attorney General, the United States, that's a very powerful office. Very powerful office in the land. And he said there's nothing there, there's no fraud, there's no, nothing that would be significant enough to overturn the election. But yet Trump went out there fooling people who support him to donate money to him. See, now that's fraud. You see? That is fraud. And that he could be prosecuted under just about any state law, where anybody who donated money in any state, especially here in New York State, the Attorney General of New York can go after him, because anybody who donated money to Donald Trump where he knew he was committing fraud and asking for donations, about this election that he claimed was stolen, that's fraud. It's just like a company that sells a product, makes a claim or what have you, and outright committing fraud. I remember years ago I got some money from I think it was the state controller's office or something, or attorney general. Some company I bought something from, and they said, no, it was fraud. It didn't work. I think it was some kind of a belt, like you put it around your waist and you're supposed to lose weight. And I said, no, there's no truth to that. That's fraud. And I was surprised. I got a check in the mail. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because under New York State law, if anybody in New York State did buy this product or what have you, the Attorney General could sue that company and get money back. And yeah, they did send me a check, because I bought two and I gave one away. So that's a prime example right there. And this is why you don't even really need the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who seems to be going slow on these guys. Any state prosecutor could prosecute Trump now because he was committing fraud by creating a fund where he was getting money from people, maybe just about every state, and I'm sure he got money from New York State. People were duped into sending them money because he claims the election was stolen. So that's fraud. And I just mentioned how I got money back. They send me money back when they say the product you bought, it was fraudulent. You see, it didn't do what it's supposed to do. So therefore, here's a check. And that's why Donald Trump could be prosecuted for committing fraud. You see, fraud on the American people, fraud on people who supported him. You see. So though Hannity did not air the hearing, he did make an appearance. Representative Liz Cheney, the vice chair of the committee, read Hannity's text to former White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. No more crazy people and no more stolen election talk. Many people will quit. Hannity warned the White House spokeswoman. McEnany texts back, love that, thank you. That is the playbook. See that? Longtime former news anchor Dan Rather trashed the network for not airing the hearing on Twitter. Maybe the new slogan for Fox News should be for those who can't handle the truth. Here is the video Tucker Carlson does not want you to watch, and it's right here. I'm going to put the link to this article up, and people could check it out themselves. Yeah. So this is what's going on here in America. We have a news organization called Fox that is steeped in propaganda that does a disservice to its viewers, that actually convince them that they're the only ones who tell them the truth, and that everybody else is telling lies. Sounds like that book 1984, right? Where everything is the opposite, really. You see? And it's really amazing that living in America today, that an organization or a news medium could operate like this. Remember when Trump used to say the media is the enemy of the people? Well, he never attacked Fox, right? Fox tells lies. Fox distorts the truth. Fox hides. And this article is evidence right here. They decided not to air the hearings. Whether it's propaganda or not, the point is you're a major media. You're supposed to at least put it out there. Let your viewers decide. Who are you to say, well, I'm going to decide for them? That shows how dumb your viewers are. That you got to handle them like kindergarten kids. That they can't make a decision for themselves. And in order for them not to run during a commercial, you didn't run any commercials. You're that scared that you didn't run any commercials during your show, so you went straight, just like the other stations that were running the committee hearings. They didn't have any commercial, so you didn't run any commercial. But all he talking is propaganda. It's really a sad day in America that we see somebody like Donald Trump became president. Donald Trump really belongs in prison. I don't know how many times I can say this. I mean, he's out to destroy the United States of America. And unfortunately, a lot of people are duped into believing he's the best president or what have you. No, you're wrong. When you were a child in school, right? In the mornings you go to school, and you read you stand up and you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Well, what about all this talk about one nation for what it stands? With liberty and justice for all. What about all that stuff? All that is out the window, because all you care about is a man with his grievance. An old man with grievances who can tell lies, and who is out to pull a modern day coup, like Adolf Hitler in Germany, when he pulled that push. And he was arrested, and at least he spent time in prison. Hitler did spend time in prison for trying to overthrow the government of Germany. And then eventually he came back. See, that's a warning right there. Hitler was in prison, and eventually he came back, and he became chancellor. Then he consolidated the job of chancellor and president in one. Yeah. He put two offices into one, and he became a dictator.